Um, Guys, sometimes I'm skipping some stuff because, for example, when we covered فَإِذَا سَأَلْتَ فَاسْأَلِ اللَّهِ, the same understanding can be applied for when we say فَإِذَا اسْتَعَنْتَ فَاسْتَعِنْ بِاللَّهِ. Alright? It's exactly the same. One's if you ask, then only ask Allah. If you seek help, then only seek help from Allah. But in terms of the benefits that can be extracted, they're exactly the same. So let's go on to the next point. It says الكلمة الخامسة فاعلم أن الأمة لو اجتمعت على أن ينفعوك بشيء لم ينفعوك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله لك. Know that the ummah, the whole of the ummah from the beginning to the last, if they were to come together in order to benefit you with something, لم ينفعوك, they will not be able to benefit you إلا بشيء, except with a thing قد كتبه الله لك, except for that which Allah تبارك وتعالى has decreed for you. Who can... Alright, from this section of the hadith, right, we know that no one is able to help nor harm us except with Allah's permission. Right or wrong, guys? Right. G. And we know that the maqadir of the as-samawati wal-ard was written how many years before the creation of the 55 بخمسين ألف سنة قبل أن يخلق الله السماوات والأرض. All right, the go say.
The sustenance written for.
Not only a sustenance, but the qadr of everybody was written 50,000 years before Allah created the heavens and the earth.
Is it the four things? Sustenance, where you're gonna.
Yeah, I mean the hadith we covered, I think it was hadith number 2, when Allah Ta'ala sends the angel, and he orders the angel to write 4 things. Now, but that happens when, guys? That
is it often in the window?
إن أحدكم لا يجمع.
40 days and then 40 days and then 40 days.
Okay, so after the 120 days, that's when that happens. That particular, process.
But isn't that written even though 50,000 years?
Of course, because as it says, the maqadir of the khalq has been written بخمسين ألف سنة قبل أن يخلق الله السماوات والأرض. I'm going to come to you in a second. I just don't want to forget what I'm going to say. So we understand that. However, somebody may say, what about the ahadith that indicate that ad-du'a can change al-qadr? You guys have heard this before, right? Ad-du'a can change qadr. Allah Akbar. تفضل أخي. Say that again, I didn't catch that. Bismillah.
Stays with the qadr of Allah, and the dua shoots higher than the qadr of Allah, goes straight, and Allah answers the dua of the...
There's no sugar in here, is it? Is that hadith? Because I've never heard that. If you can, inshallah, try to get that for next lesson, because I've never ever heard that narration. I've never heard that narration. But my question today is, I'm going to ask the question one more time now, yeah? And then I'll come to you. What's your name?
I'm Abdul Hakim.
Abdul Hakim. Jazakallahu khairah. The question is, if the maqadir, the everything that's going to happen in our lives has been written 50,000 years before the creation of the heavens and the earth, how is it possible then that dua can change qadr, as a lot of people say?
Usually the dua would be written as well already.
You spot it, but I'm glad you got it right. Usually I like about 5 or 6 attempts, and then alhamdulillah, salah's coming close anyway. Al-Lawh al-Mahfuz. So basically, whatever Allah Ta'ala has, and this is important because a question came maybe like 3 weeks ago. I didn't get the chance to go into it, but whatever Allah Ta'ala has this decreed for an individual, it will always come to pass. Do you remember when I said earlier on today, وَقَدْرُهُ, what word did I use? And then not only did I use the word, I spelled it out in Arabic for you guys. Abu Sumayya. Yes, she was. We had microphones, Akhi.
I wasn't here, I was in the meeting.
I said that the qadr of Allah Ta'ala is nafidh. You guys remember me saying that? And then I said noon, alif, fa, dhal. You don't remember? You guys? Allah's qadr will always come into play. And nothing will ever change Allah's qadr. But like Akhuna Abdul Hakim قال, even the dua that a person makes for an individual that's fallen sick, for example, that was written 50,000 years before the heavens, the creation of the heavens and the earth. And this is what some people don't understand. They get misconstrued. They think that I can make dua, or anyone can make dua, and that will change what Allah wrote. That would necessitate that maybe Allah didn't know what was going to happen, and then when that person made a dua, Allah changed what He wrote. That is to prescribe some type of naqs to Allah, some type of deficiency. La, that's not how it's. I'm going to come to you. Haven't I asked you your question yet that you wanted to know before? Remember you had a question before about, did you ask it?
No, it's Muhammad.
It was Muhammad? I'm going to come to you right now. That was written, that dua that person was going to write, which was a means for you to get cured, that was already written. A lot of people say, no, I heard there's a hadith that go to show that dua can change qadr. It's so important that it's understood in the correct fashion. Tafaddal, akhi Muhammad.
So that when you said that dua could change qadr, it was wrote 50,000 years ago before the earth was created, then how would it get changed?
Okay. Because mathalan, let's say, I'm going to use myself an example, right? Ismail becomes sick. And then Ismail goes to Muhammad, Ibn Adil, and say, Akhi, make dua for Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala to cure me by your many good deeds. You got so many good deeds, mashallah. Ask Allah, call upon Allah by just one of them, and ask Allah to cure Ismail. So you do that. And as a result of your dua to Allah, Ismail becomes cured. Jazakallahu khairah. Babe, you with me so far? Excellent. Now that dua that you made for me, Allah already wrote that to happen. Allah knew in His infinite wisdom that when Ismail was going to become sick, he was going to ask Muhammad, and Muhammad was going to agree, and then Muhammad was going to make the dua. Thus Ismail became cured. You with me? It's not that Allah didn't know that I was going to ask you and your dua was going to be accepted. No, He already knew, but He made you a sabab, a means for my cure, because ultimately it's Allah that cures. Does that make sense? So the dua, that's the understanding. The dua can change qadr, i.e. the dua that Allah Tabarak Ta'ala already knew about 50,000 years before the creation of the heavens and earth. Na'am, tafadhal akhi, Talib.
Wouldn't that mean that qadr can't be changed? Because
Effectively, it can't. Whatever Allah decrees,
it's already been written.
it's nafid.
It's already been written that you're going to do that. So
Qadr Allah nafid.
nothing's really been changed.
Sahih, from that angle. But at the same time, it has to be, it's a bit dangerous because my dad used to give me these two examples. You got two Muslims, right? One goes to bed early, he sets his alarm clock in order to wake up for Fajr. The other one, he stays awake till the early hours of the morning, he doesn't set his alarm clock and he oversleeps. When it said to the one that overslept, Ya akhi, you overslept, he says, no akhi, qadar Allah, this is what Allah decreed. Naam, it was decreed that you were going to do that, not because Allah wanted you to do that, because Allah knew, astaghfirullah azim wa atubu ilayh, Allah knew in His infinite wisdom that this person will not set his alarm clock and he will go bed late, thus this was going to happen. Does that make sense? It's not that Allah forced him to do it, Allah just knew in His infinite wisdom that that's what He's going to do. That's what's difficult to get your head around.
So what are you saying?
What am I saying? What are you saying? Huh?
No.
I thought you wanted to. I thought you wanted to step outside. MashaAllah. Go on.
No, I mean, what do you mean by what you're saying though?
What do you mean?
Like, how did that answer what I said?
Okay, what's your question? Repeat your question.
If the qadr was already written, the qadr can't really be changed because Allah
I agreed with you.
Allah already wrote it, but then you said that.
No, I was. That wasn't to you. That was
okay.
The second part was to the crowd. Everybody here. Makes sense. And what you said, in effect, qadr can't be changed because it was already written that. What I then said after that is that sometimes it's dangerous when people say, all right, if something's written, khalas, don't hold me accountable for something that's already written. Some people can have that mentality.
But didn't he already have a choice to set his alarm?
Exactly.
He chose not to set his alarm.
Exactly. But somebody not understanding that we do have, and I like the participation, G, thank you very much. Somebody will say, not understanding the fact that we've got free choice, say that no, I was compelled to miss Fajr. I was forced to miss Fajr. Why? Qaddar Allah. Allah already decreed it. And it's no. Allah didn't decree it because Allah has any types of evil connected to him. وَلِيَعْذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ هَذَا الْكَلَامِ الْبَاطِلِ. You understand? It's that the person was lazy and Allah just knew in his infinite wisdom. And the consequences was that. Now, Sheikh? You have to make the al-akhdhu bil asbabi ماذا إخوان؟ الأخذ بالأسباب لا 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 أكمل بالعربي أكملوا بالعربية الأخذ بالأسباب
والأفعال
ها؟
والأفعال
لا what did I say what's the قاعدة الأخذ بالأسباب لا شوف أبو سمية going away لا ينافي التوكل جزاك الله خير يا شيخ. Taking the necessary steps does not negate putting your trust in Allah, setting your alarm clock, going bed early. Huh? Remember I gave you the example of a person getting married, wanting a baby?
So in answer to his question though,
Which one, Talib or Muhammad?
Talib.
Okay.
Couldn't we say that yes, it did change the qadr, because if that person didn't make that dua, then Allah's qadr would have said that this person's not going to be cured.
Okay.
No.
Because he's saying, but in effect, qadr can't be changed. But the hadith says the dua changed qadr, because
But
that dua changed the qadr that would have been if he didn't make that dua.
No,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
going to make that dua because Allah already said he's going to.
No,
Yeah.
because he made that choice, and Allah wrote that he's going to
Allah
make that
wrote
choice.
that he's going to make that choice.
Yeah, but you
so
know-
he changed the qadr that if
you
he
know-
did,
He didn't
You know
change
what-
it because he's already written
he
he's
did,
going
because
to
that dua
change.
Already
changed.
written.
It's
Already
already
written. Yeah, he written.
Yeah, but if he didn't make the dua, it was going to be written
No,
that
no.
he didn't make that
No,
dua.
but
Yeah.
Allah already wrote it that he's going to make that dua.
Sah, what?
And if
You know-
he didn't make that dua, then Allah already wrote it that he's not going to make that dua.
Al-Ishkal is that we're here in the here and now, and somebody does something which happens in the here and now, but it's difficult to get your head around the fact that it was already written 50,000 years before the creation of heaven and earth.
That's not
No, not you.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying some people, it's like you're saying that it changed the qadr. And he's saying, no, how could it change the qadr? It was already written that the person was going to do it.
The hadith, the Prophet told us to change the qadr.
Is the hadith sahih?
Well, if you mention if it isn't,
I said, if you go back and it's recorded, I said, there are a lot of people that say, that's what I said, meticulous akhi.
okay.
What are you saying?
Is the hadith
Faddal.
According to what you have explained, I think then writtenly it's very wrong to say that the qadr of Allah can be changed.
Who says that though?
Now I'm saying I'm telling you that
Summarising.
according to
Okay.
all the explanation that you have given,
Yeah.
Allah's qadr is our understanding that Allah's qadr is changed, but Allah's qadr is that because it's been written
It's nafid.
15 years
Nafid.
before.
رفعت
So our
القلم.
understanding, either our understanding or even the language that we use that Allah's qadr has changed is wrong. That's wrong language.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree.
There must
And
be a word there.
it's
make us understand.
it's the understanding.
Yes.
Going back to I'm gonna go. Hold on. What I said,
No.
I said, is the hadith authentic? I never said it was da'if.
We have
I asked the
no
question.
insight.
You was-
Hassan by Sheikh Al-Albani.
Mumtaz, but I never said it wasn't Hassan. I just said what, because he mentioned the hadith. Hey, is it sahih? That's what I said, akhi. Come on.
Literature way.
What are you saying?
Understanding
Okay,
way.
if it's sahih,
We're coming.
if it is sahih,
Ah.
the dua can change qadr.
Okay. If it's sahih, صححه
Sheikh Al-Albani.
الشيخ الألباني أو حسنه. حسنه.
Ibn Ahmed, Ibn Majah, and Tirmidhi.
لكن they say وصححه وحسنه.
No, this is the classes as Hassan by Sheikh Al-Albani.
حسنة.
Sheikh Al-Albani.
طيب لا بأس. There's still no contradiction. Why is there no contradiction? Because it's how the ahadith or how this hadith is to be understood in light of
Yes. Qadr.
the qadr.
Yeah.
It's how it's to be understood, and the jama', the plausible يعني reconciliation. You didn't help me out that time, akhi. All of this qadr and stuff is a bit too much. But the possible reconciliation between the two is that dua can change qadr. But Allah chose that. I'll give the example of me and Muhammad. Allah chose that dua or decreed that dua to be what changed the qadr. So his dua did change the qadr.
No.
But it only changed the qadr because it was decreed that it was going to change the qadr. And this is why I was pumping on in the beginning, because Allah in His infinite wisdom knew. That is the only way for us to just get on with our days now. Yeah, because unless you say Allah knew in His infinite wisdom, you're going to have the discussion that you guys had. Dua can change qadr. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said it. The ulama have authenticated this hadith or made it hasan. He has a good point. No, the qadr is the qadr. It's nafidh. It's always going to come to pass. It didn't change. So the only way to reconcile between it is to say, look, dua can change qadr because it was already written 50,000 years ago that like Shaykh Abdul Hakim mentioned. Abdul Hakim, sir? That was going to change. Because Allah knew in His infinite wisdom. That's it.
I'm just a little bit confused.
No problem.
We discussed the word
Sure.
around 50,000 years ago, and somebody else said, oh,
Not 50,000 years ago. It says
before the creation.
of the heavens and the earth. قبل أن يخلق الله السماوات والأرض ب50 ألف سنة أو كما قال. نعم.
And then, brother, in that direction says, 120 days or 40 days. And then I read here, min nutfa khalaqaha faqaddara. So min nutfa, which is slightly more recent than 50,000 years before creation, and a bit earlier than 40 days. When's this faqaddara process happening then?
Okay. From what I understand of your question, Akhi, the question is, you've got the hadith I mentioned that the maqadir of the khalq was written 50,000 years before the creation of the heavens and the earth. Alright? That's one thing. Then we've got the other hadith that we've covered couple lessons back, wherein the Prophet ﷺ said that each one of you will gather together in the womb of his mother for 40 days as a nutfa, and then another 40 days as a mudgha, and then the last one is a alaqa. أو كما قال النبي نسيت الآن لكن you're saying that when is this qadr actually written, because the angel is sent to that person, and I think that you mentioned this earlier today, right? The angel is sent to that person and he's ordered to write 4 things: بكتب رزقه وعمله وأجله. بكتب رزقه is sustenance, when he's going to die, or whether he's going to be from the blessed or damned, if you like. The people of paradise or the people of hellfire, right? So the way to reconcile between that is that this incident that happens at 120 on the 120th day, all right, where the angel sent and writes these 4 things down, yes, that's going to happen to the individual in his lifetime. But this situation was already written 50,000 years before the creation of the heavens and the earth. It just so happens that at the 120th day, this action occurs. That's the best way that
It's like the angels take from the archive of the qadr to bring it
exactly.
to the particular person.
Exactly.
Isn't it basically that it was written 50,000 years before?
Not 15.
50,000?
50, yeah.
Yeah, that's 50.
Okay.
Isn't basically what you're saying is it was written 50,000 years before creation.
Yeah.
And what was written was also that Allah was going to send the angel to go.
Awesome. That's it, Akhi. That's it. Barakallahu feekum. Any more questions, guys?
If Allah has written the person's gonna write a dua, does he answer it at 50,000 years before creation, or does he answer it when it happens?
He decrees that the dua is going to be answered, and then he answers that dua. It's written that it's already going to be answered, but it obviously gets answered at the time when the dua is obviously made.
Does he choose what he's gonna say?
Does Allah choose what the app's going to say?
No, does Allah choose what Allah's gonna say 50,000 years before creation, or does he just decide when it happens?
I'm trying to get my head around the question. Does Allah choose what Allah's going to say?
So he calls that
He's written it already.
Yeah, he's written that the dua is
So
gonna
he's
happen.
already made that choice, and if he's written it, he just brings it into
Yeah.
existence to happen. So he's already made that choice because he's written it.
No, but he's saying that does Allah choose what Allah's going to say?
Yeah, has he already made the choice 50,000 years before creation, or does he? Allah.
Yeah, I'm going to say he's written it as opposed to saying making a choice. Maybe there's no difference, but he's already decreed what's going to happen 50,000 years before the creation of heaven and earth.
Yeah.
So anything that happens after that has already been decreed. Does that make sense? It doesn't. Ask your question again.
So if he writes what the person is going to make the dua,
Mhm.
does he answer the dua 50,000 years before creation? Does he answer it when the person asks it?
From what I understand from your question, Allah will answer that dua or allow that dua to be accepted, i.e. the fruits of that dua will be seen at that time when that person makes it, or around that time. You with me? Otherwise, if Allah answered that dua 50,000 years before the creation of the heavens and the earth, then the person, for example, would never have got sick because the dua was already written. You with me? A person has to go through some hardships in order for example, somebody, or that person might make dua himself. Does that make sense? Guys, I just want to clarify something because I don't want it to be misconstrued and I come to you. I said earlier on, if somebody doesn't take the asbab for a particular thing that they want, they would be considered from the majaneen. Alright? I.e., somebody wants a child and then they don't get married or they don't have sexual intercourse with their wife. How can they expect to have a child? I would say that person would be considered to be crazy, right? That's just in the... That's in the dunya sense, without taking into considerations any miracles that Allah Ta'ala can perform. Because we know that our mother Maryam alayhi salam, she bore Isa alayhi salam without any of a man. No man touched Maryam. So I don't want it to be understood that I was saying that miracles can't happen. La. When miracles happen, then this is considered to be a fadl from Allah Ta'ala, and He gives to whomsoever He pleases. Al-adhan, tafadal. Straight after, yeah? Straight after.
It's a general question.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
By the way, guys, after we're going to finish inshallah ta'ala just before salah, and then next week we got hadith number 20 to memorize. It's a very, very short hadith. If you can all memorize it, please, that'll be fantastic. Now, tafadhal.
It's a general question. So I was talking with my friend and he said to me, the things that break your wudu is anything that comes out of the two private parts from Mayu, yeah? Then he said to me, so why do you make wudu, and wudu is washing every other part apart from the area where it came out of, and I didn't know how to answer it.
The question is that from those things that break your wudu is anything that comes out of your front or your back, right? Not just for a man, by the way. He said for a man.
Oh, yeah, sorry,
for a woman as well. Unless you got some next type of knowledge that I don't have. But so the question is, why don't we wash those areas when we're making wudu, and why do we wash the bodily limbs that we wash? The first answer to that is because Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala ordered us to do so. That's it. Sami'na wa ta'ana, sah? We hear and we obey. Secondly, the fact that we don't wash those two areas specifically when making wudu, that doesn't mean now that those two areas can remain dirty. You with me? After you've used them. If you go number one or number two, we're still required to make.
Yeah, I said that to him, and then he said, well, what about if you fart?
Yeah, but okay. What, does something come out when you fart, or is
No,
it just
I
air?
just didn't
No,
know
no,
how to answer.
I'm asking. No, I'm not asking you. I was asking you as if you were him, i.e., the person that said that statement. And secondly, the Prophet ﷺ, our religion, al-Islam, is built on قال الله وقال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم وفهم الصحابة. I would have said to him, if he didn't accept my first answer, the Prophet ﷺ, he didn't tell us that if we break wind that we have to go and wash our behinds. You see what I'm saying? If the Prophet ﷺ told us to do so, as Muslims we'd have to do so. But he didn't. Sometimes when somebody, I don't know who your friend is by the way, but when somebody doesn't have a strong foundation, these questions may arise. You with me? But the fact of the matter is, Allah didn't tell us to do so, and the Prophet ﷺ did not leave his ummah on that understanding. And that's it. That is it. Guys, I just want to quickly mention something here which is crucially important. Remember I said there was another narration in other than Tirmidhi, which was very, very similar, but there was slightly different wording. It says, تعرف إلى الله في الرخاء يعرفك في الشدة. Know Allah in times of ease, and Allah تبارك وتعالى will know you in times of difficulty. إنما الجزاء من جنس العمل. Alright, the reward is going to be from the same type of the action that you do. And it's so important, akhi ikhwan. And this sometimes people think that they're only being tested by Allah when they're going through a calamity. Sah? When you're going through a hardship, oh, this is a test. You can also be going through ease and that be a test for you. You can also be going through ease and that ease is a test for you. Are you also going to remember your Lord in these times of ease and comfort? Or are you only somebody that remembers Allah tabarak wa ta'ala when you need Him? And this is why you find sometimes somebody may get seriously ill and Allah cures that person, and it could be that that person was remembering Allah tabarak wa ta'ala when that person was in a state of health and youth and maybe wealth. You with me? So it's so important that we don't limit our turning to Allah only when we need Him alone. We do it all the time. And then it goes on to say in another narration, وَعْلَمْ أَنَّمَا أَخْطَأَكَ لَمْ يَكُنْ لِيُصِيبَكَ وَأَنَّمَا أَصَابَكَ لَمْ يَكُنْ لِيُخْطِئَكَ. Anything that missed you will never ever reach you, or it was never written to reach you, and anything that has been decreed or anything that has come to you, it would have never missed you. And know that with help, أَنَّ النَّصْرَ مَعَ الصَّبْرِ, that help comes as a result of being patient. The two things I want to say before we conclude, inshallah, tabaraka wa ta'ala, is this. Sometimes we might miss out on an opportunity and we say, oh, if only or something may happen. If only I didn't take that route, I wouldn't have had a car accident. Or if only I just did this, then that wouldn't have happened. Alright? This can open up the door to the shaitan. At the end of the day, we need to try to the best of our ability to put our emotions and our feelings in line with what Allah tabarak wa ta'ala wants for us and is pleased with. At the end of the day, we don't know as human beings what's good for us. And we have to have that firm resolve in our heart that whatever happens, no matter how it looks from the face of it, Allah knows best. And maybe there's a great wisdom in Allah decreeing something in your life at a particular time that you won't even, maybe never come to know about. Or maybe you will, but it will take time. And I'm sure, guys, you've all got stories of something happening in your life, and at the time you're thinking, Kaif, like, how? Like, what's the benefit from this? And then maybe years later, a couple months later, you say, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, that happened then. Because if it didn't happen, then this may have happened. You with me, guys? It's so important. And, you know, it could be down to a sister that you want to marry. This sister ticks all the right boxes. She floats your boat in every single category. And it doesn't work out. And you're just thinking, subhanAllah, how? Yes, there could be other external factors like ayn and hasad and stuff like that. But it doesn't always have to be a case of it's ayn and hasad. It could be that Allah just may have written that sister never to be for you. So no matter what you do, no matter how much you try to sweeten up her father and her mother, if Allah hasn't written that sister for you, she will never come to you. And we have to start taking this approach to life. Not being lackadaisical and not fighting for things that we feel that we want. But at the same time, if it's clear to us that something's not going to happen, the Muslim يقول الحمد لله على كل حال سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.
You said we're going to get from the next hadith.
Yeah, I said the next hadith, ikhwan.